I just want everybody to know the thumbnail spoke for itself. This has got to be extremely either triggering or I don't know how else to say it, but I am going to stop a lot and explain exactly what I've been through as a white person comparing to whatever he's about to say. And so hopefully this does not offend anybody, but I'm going to be just as transparent as Tom has. So I'm not afraid to speak anymore. I speak, I mean, I wasn't afraid at first, but now I'm truly like able to speak my mind because that's the whole point of Tom creating this music is to speak what you have to say because that's the whole point. And so saying this, diving straight into if I was black. So that caught my attention. We're just gonna dive straight in because I want to use as much time as possible, either reacting or commenting on what I can and not. Yeah, we're just gonna dive straight in.
If I was black, probably wouldn't with anyone who's white, cause that slavery would honestly always be on my mind if I was black.
Not true. Nah, that's not true. It is kinda depending on where you go, but mostly is for the older people. Um, and then sometimes it is brainwashed into the younger for those who have family members who are still that way, but not it's not like that for the most part. We're divided or mostly divided because of how the country is. It's not as bad as prison, but when it comes to uh, America, we are divided in so many ways. It's not even about race like that. It's not about the slavery thing. It's we're divided. We are purposely divided by our government. It's not because we're divided because we chose to be. We're divided by higher authority.
Probably wouldn't ever wanna drive, cause if police pull me over, I might go around and die. If I was black, I won't.
Not true. Not true. I do agree with there has been a lot of bullshit that when black people get pulled over, they're instantly profiled. I instantly get profiled. And matter of fact, due to my criminal history, I get profiled quite a bit. And I carry a gun with me everywhere I go. And so just knowing that, the first thing that I have to do is not only even if I don't carry my weapon, let's say on a situation where I got pulled over and I didn't have a weapon, they already know I carry one, so now it doesn't matter where I go. Let's say I traveled somewhere else, a different state, I got pulled over. I already immediately get treated differently because of the way I look. And then on top of that, my criminal history. So I know there's a lot of variables into play. Let's say we had a 20-year-old, well-dressed, intelligent black guy who was just driving and he got pulled over. I understand, and he had no criminal history. Now that I can understand, that'd be really, messed up if he got treated the same way I did, and I look like this with the criminal history. Then sure, that's pretty fucked up, and that sometimes does happen. But that also does happen with white people as well. Let's keep it moving because I don't want to take up too much time.
I'd be scared to walk at night. The whole neighborhood is tripping like I'm out committing crimes. I'd be pissed at all these cracker rappers singing about my life. Stole my music, stole my style, give it back, that is mine. If I was black, just look at the facts. We don't stand it.
It's not true because white people don't really feel that way when black people do country. And if you know of a band called Killswitch Engage, their first lead singer was a black guy, and he screamed, and he was an amazing vocalist. Like he knew how to scream very well and sing and scream. It sounded the Killswitch Engage is one of the coolest. Before he left the group, that was a black guy. He did rock music, and that band is well known still to this day. Like I was a kid listening to that shit. Black people doing country music. You don't see white people talking like that. Nah, it's more or less we are divided by upper. The reason that the race war and the race problems that we have today, yeah, a lot of it can be caused from past. But like I said in a previous reaction, every color of every ethnicity and at some point in time in mankind, all the way back, dated back to a long time ago, the Egyptians had enslaved Egyptians. White people had white slaves. Black people had black slaves. Black people had white slaves. White people had black slaves. Indians had slaves. Everyone at some point had slave. We all went through slavery at some point, but our government pushes the racism on black people extra, extra, extra on purpose to keep us divided. So if you really do your actual homework, you'll realize that racism technically exists because our government put it there. If you do your homework, everybody's been a slave at one point. Facts, big facts. And so, and then the reaction from black people who have to deal with the racism that's pushed upon them and the racism that's pushed upon us to divide us from blacks and whites and Mexicans and Chinese, and the government that pushes this racist agenda but that tries to divide us. We are civilians, so what can we do to fight back? Well, we don't, because we're programmed to just be people. So what do? We get divided, and the response is what you get: racism. So this is where racism technically comes from. I'm not agreeing that slavery was okay, because it's not. But every group of civilians at a certain point had slaves or some type of slavery or enslavement at some point. Now we're all slaves to a digital world, with identification, social securities. Yeah, we're all technically slaves at this point. We're just not in shackles.
The chance 1 in 3 is locked away. Over half don't know they dead. See, white privilege ain't a money thing, but it's white people who are running things. Y'all benefit from your coloring. My pigment produce suffering. It's all white pride, white power, white lies, white houses, white guys, whitewashing. My brothers, my sisters, my culture while I'm watching. If I was black, I'd probably hate myself from they say. Racism made me racist, and I am not the one to blame. Hey, y'all won't say it to my face. In the circles you feel safe. Y'all been using words they made for us when we were slaves. Hey, wait, whoa, I know that was long ago.
I like that. Hey, wait, whoa, listen, that's just long ago. I like that. I like that how he's like, this is a catchy ass beat, and that piano with the bass and everything and what he's saying. I'm gonna track it back just like a little bit. What he's saying is technically true, but it's not true because that's how it is. It's because what the government is programming the people of our country to go with. So like you know how when you're spoon fed something, that's just you just take it because that's all you know. So when you're born into a country that is purposely dividing you on purpose with racism, of course that's all you're gonna know. So that's we are divided for a reason. If we united, the government wouldn't have shit on anybody. We the people would be able to take over our country again, and that's how you make America great again. But still, I think Tom MacDonald should be president. Just saying.
Suffering is all white pride, white power, white lies, white houses, white guys, whitewashing. My brothers, my sisters, my culture while I'm watching. If I was black, I'd probably hate myself from they say. Racism made me racist, and I am not.
Racism made me racist. You catch that? Racism made me racist. Basically, all this shit that's going on made me racist. Why is it going on? Who put it there? 90% of the people that die in the streets are in the streets from people who are in the streets. If you catch my drift, 90% of black deaths are from black on black. It's If you're, you know, like when you sign up for something, you can't get mad because you knew what you signed up for. If you're gonna be in a gang, or if you're gonna walk the streets and you're gonna do this and that, and you're gonna get into the drug game, you're gonna do this and that, you can't get mad if you get caught, right? You knew what you signed up for. If you're like, if you're flipping like 20 pounds or 20 kilos of cocaine, you're smuggling across the border, and you get caught by like border patrol, like, and you get caught, can you get mad? You knew what you signed up for, right? If you get in, if you play around in the streets, you, you knew what you signed up for. It's black on black war. It's white on white war. It's the drug game is a war. Same thing with the police. So the police are doing the same shit. Anyone, they have to treat everybody like the justice system is messed up because they make so much money off of it. It's like the pharmaceutical companies. They make money off of the justice system just as much as they do off of the private prisons and the detention centers, like jail, like, like state jail, or even just regular city jail, where whenever you get pulled over and have no insurance, you go to jail. They make so much money off the judicial system. On top of that, off of probation, off of the courtroom, off of jail, off of prison, state jail, all this stuff, they make money off of it. So yeah, they're going to implant racism in everybody. So we have more war. Of course, they're going to bring drugs into our country. How do you think so much drugs get here? Do you think they would really let drugs come into our country if we didn't want it? You know how easy it is for America to go not to mind their own business and infiltrate another country, and I don't know, like, blow everything up and take their fuels and resources and shit. We do it every day. America is a big ass bully. And we got people who are legitimately good people, who are just doing what they're told because, they're just trying to be like a good provider for their family, but they're being told to do things that they don't agree with. Long story short, all these things that we can technically go do, if we didn't want drugs in this country, the drugs wouldn't be here. The drugs are here because we have people and politicians and high government who are allowing this to happen. Because if we didn't have drugs on the street, we wouldn't have people in jail. I mean, we would, but not as many. We wouldn't have 75% of incarceration is from drug. Anyways, I could go on this for a long time. Racism is planted, just like drugs are planted. Police brutality, police unfairness, police falsely arresting and guilty until proven innocent. That's backwards. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Well, that's not how our country works. Every police officer has to treat you like you are actually doing something wrong until they can prove that you're not, so they can feel fine driving away thinking that you're not a bad person. That's how bad it is in our country. So our country is so fucked up that you add racism to it, now you can't fight back. It's so fucked up that we have to stand united as we the people to fight back all the problems. And if you can't, the only way you can fight back is if you have numbers. Well, how do you have numbers if you throw racism in there and nobody gets along? Facts. There is no we the people if they all hate each other. You catching my drift? Racism doesn't exist. It does because they put it there.
Not the one to blame. Hey, y'all won't say it to my face. In the circles you feel safe. Y'all been using words they made for us when we were slaves. Hey, wait, whoa. I know that was long ago. If I was black, I'd want my reparation money paid. If I was black, I'd take the police, I'd take the whole clan, I'd put holes in their sheets. If I was black, I'd put gold on my teeth. So if you think I'm broke, you will know when I speak. If I was black, it's my face on a T, R.I.P. underneath, on my name next to free. If I was black, I would die in these streets just to speak in my mind because I had a dream. If I was black, probably wouldn't ever do my taxes. Why support a government that persecute my blackness?
I don't do my taxes. I'll be straightforward with you. I haven't done my taxes in, I think, 14 years. I just haven't. And you guys can probably go ahead and guess why. I can't claim my taxes on stuff. You know what I mean? So let's just go on from there. But I understand what he's saying. Why file my taxes on a government? First off, I don't even. I, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going for it on that one. But I don't do my taxes for the most part for valid reasons. I'm not saying I won't file them this year or last year. Or I haven't. I'm just saying that I haven't done it in so long. I understand what he's talking about, and actually, a lot of people actually don't file their taxes, especially other people who are here from like ISIS. Um, Other countries that are coming in left and right from all over the place are not filing taxes. There people who are here on visas filing taxes and everything else like that. I can tell you right now, this this right here was made to not only trigger, but I feel like this reaction video or this video that he did that I'm reacting to, I think this was more or less not made to trigger. I think he was literally trying to open the eyes of. I think it can go both ways on this one.
Pay the wage of law enforcement, putting us in caskets, or help to build the prisons that we trapped in.
Facts. I'm telling you. That's why I just got done talking on that. They build these. Have you ever seen a prison being built and it's so huge and there's nobody in it? And then within 6 months, that bitch is full. They do it on purpose. They go to an area where they know there's a lot of crime on purpose. There's a lot of corrupt police officers, a lot of corrupt judges, and a lot of corrupt politicians and officials. And they'll go build a prison literally smack in the middle of that county. And next thing you know, it is the most populated prison in the state. And it's been like that over and over and over in many various situations.
If I was black, I'd be mad. People glorify the trap while we dying every day, fighting for everything we have.
Glorify the trap. First off, I don't know if he's talking about the trap as in like the trap house, but if he was talking about the trap house, that's the street shit. There's only one, and this has to be broken down very, very carefully because everyone has equal opportunity. If you think that you cannot get a job because you're either white, Mexican, black, Asian, Chinese, none of that matters. What matters is now apparently they're taking it to another level. This is years ago, but now they're taking it to another level where apparently you don't have to have a certain skill set to get a job. So if you don't know how to fly a plane, apparently you can be a pilot at this point. So as long as you know how to operate a microwave and make some toast in a toaster, you can work for American Airlines and fly people around at this point. So I heard about that. It's not about being discriminated so much to the point where now you can literally like be a heart surgeon. As long as you can play operation at home and not make the buzzer go off, you can do some cardiac surgery. But the whole point is you glorify the trap on this. If he's talking about the trap house, I glorified the trap house back in the day. And I'll tell you what, I'll just keep it real. Listen, if you like I said, you know what you signed up for. And if you glorify anything, you're going to get attention in some way or fashion or form. This has nothing to do with the pigmentation of your skin or anything to do with who you are and where you came from. It's how you conduct yourself, how you walk, how you talk, it's how you carry yourself and what you do, your character, who you are, your personality. Do you care about your future? Do you want a career? Do you want to take care of your family? Do you want to do this or that? So your choices is what creates your reality. But I know a lot of times we don't have that opportunity based off of how we're raised, where we're raised, how we were programmed. So this country is like one of the hardest countries to grow up in because it's not because of who we are as people. It's because our government is so fucking corrupt that we have one of the most humble, if not the most awesome artist to be brave enough to make a song called If I Was Black, just to say, hey, this is how fucked up our country is, and it wouldn't be like this It really wouldn't be like this if we didn't have the country. If we did not have the government we had today, we wouldn't have to have a song like this. And we have people like disabled veterans who are in a certain bracket that our country doesn't give enough attention to. So we have military invading other countries that are our people, who are good people, doing what they're told, not knowing the major agenda. They're just following commands. And then they come home with mental issues, PTSD, given all these meds from pharmaceutical companies. It's a big circle of fuckery, and it's all created by the government, and everyone's treated poorly. So just to give you an idea of what we actually go through, I oh man, yeah, I told you this was gonna be a long one. I'm gonna talk on this one. I really am, because I lived in the hood and I did it all. I did it all. I did more than what you think. And multiply that times 30, 50 to 100. Like, do some research. This is not. This is all planted. Everything you know about racism has been a plant. It's been seeded in the ground on purpose to divide us from conquering and owning. Why do you think our money is fake? Why do you think everything is fake? All the agendas that we have and all the problems we have are literally given to us for a reason. It's to keep us divided. It's to keep us from it's to keep us from agreeing on anything. Why do you think in the last 5 years, do you remember 2018, 2017, 16, back in the teens, we had no of this weird leftist woke thing going on? And then since then, COVID happened. That was on purpose. Racism's on purpose. War is on purpose. Everything is on purpose. Everything's on purpose. Pharmaceutical shit's on purpose. And then, you got these commercials. If you've ever had a loved one who's been affected by such and such, medication, you might be entitled to compensation. Well, yeah, because they're testing these meds on you and they don't even know if it fucking works. Everything is literally, we are all guinea pigs of one big massive program, and we are controlled in so many ways. Like he said in one reaction that I did, we're so programmed, we don't even know we're stuck in a box. I gotta keep going.
It ain't diamond chains or racks, this a systematic plan. They put us in the ghetto, gave us HIV and crack.
Stop it again. They put us in the ghetto and gave us HIV and crack. First off, that's so stereotypical, and I like the way he said that on purpose. How do I say this? That's everywhere. HIV and crack is everywhere. If you're watching this and anyone takes offense to this, just understand that everything he's saying might be true, but it's not because of black people. It's not because black people are frowned upon or are judged by a certain way because of certain reasons, and then they gave them the majority of black people HIV and crack. It's not like that. Everyone everything he's saying applies to every race in this country, in every city and corner and crevice of this entire continent of North America. Every part of America has to deal with everything that a black person would have to deal with. Even if we are different ethnicities, that's the whole point. That's the whole fucking point. They're using that against the people to stay in disagreements on purpose, so we can't come together and be like, hey, oh my God, wow, I cannot believe we are being betrayed by our government, and we all think this about each other. We instantly judge each other. We instantly think that the police are against every ethnicity. The police, that's their job. Their job is to pull over as many people as they can to physically figure out how many people they can take to the courthouse with either a ticket or a crime and purposely fill up the judicial system, and hopefully they get indicted on some type of crime to go to jail to fill up eventually the prisons. It's a cycle, and it all starts in the streets. And where does the shit start from in the streets? It starts from programming. And where does the programming come from? The government. And what does the government do to help you stay programmed? They give you crack and HIV, drugs, gangs, music that enforces the same message. Just listen.
I was black, I'd hate America, appropriate my character, and sell it to Caucasians who wish they were from my area.
See? Appropriate the area and sell it to Caucasians who, like, just...
If I was black, I wouldn't give a fuck about the greater good. My grandma can't afford a rent, y'all gentrified our neighborhood. All lives matter.
Notice he said we gentrified our entire neighborhood. Oh, that must be the ghetto. Because it's the majority is black people. So what if every person in that neighborhood happens to be white, but you didn't change the houses? All the houses stay the same. All the street signs stay the same. You don't change anything. Imagine if you went to a ghetto area, and you replaced every person, even if they were Mexican, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. You moved everybody out. A social experiment, a huge social experiment, and replaced every single person in the worst area you can think of, and replaced it with a bunch of Karens, woke Karens, who had like Starbucks money and like refrigerated box wine money, and their husband had like a badass job, and they had like 4 kids, and they're all spoiled. Would it be the ghetto? And if your answer is no, why? Is it because there's white people, or is it because you're programmed? If you say the answer is no, it's no longer the ghetto, you're programmed. Yes, if you want to call it the ghetto because black people live there, and if now you move white people there with a bunch of Karens and 4 kids, and they have a decent amount of money, and they moved in and they swapped and they still lived in the same house, yes, if you want to call it the ghetto beforehand, it's still the ghetto afterwards. We are so programmed, we don't even know that we live inside of pretty much a computer at this point.
So stupid, y'all hijacking our movement. Black lives matter cause we losing innocent youth to police shootings. If I was black, the only role models I'm shown is the rich black rappers pushing guns and drugs and hoes. Yeah.
There you go. Now, how do you think you influence a bunch of white people and black people and everyone of all ethnicities? Remember how I've been mentioning all ethnicities the entire time? They use black people and white people, but mostly black, that are industry or labeled sign, that are rapping, pushing a movement about how to sell drugs and talking about how gang. And then you have do you see how this works? Does anyone have any questions or comments? Because please leave them. The government would not just push a bunch of rap music down everyone's throat if it wasn't for a reason by black people. But if black people are so quote unquote in the category of racism, they're having this like oppression, you wouldn't be planting black people that were millionaires with, Rick Ross and Lil Wayne and Birdman signed Universal. It was an $11.6 billion marketing deal to sign Drake and Lil Wayne and all these people. Just think about it. Even Jelly Roll. Did Jelly Roll, Post Malone, They started off doing rap music and captivated so many people, but they pushed the wrong agenda. And then guess what? They used their white skin color to reach who? The white people. So what did they do? They started off being rappers and then they switched over to, guess what? Country. You feel me? All of this is for a reason. Everything has a reason. And the government and the Illuminati and the people above this, it all breaks down to also racism. This is a really good example of how shitty the government and the United Nations and the agenda of the planet is. It's beyond our planet, it's beyond our government, it's beyond the United Nations, it's beyond the elite, it's beyond the Illuminati. It's the people who control this entire world. And they're using America as the home base of the fuckery.
Hey, y'all won't say it to my face. In the circles you feel safe. Y'all been using words they made for us when we were slaves. Hey, wait, whoa. I know that was long ago. If I was black, I'd want my reparation money paid in full. If I was black, I'd take the police, I'd take the whole clan, I'd put holes in their sheets. If I was black, I put gold on my teeth. So if you think I'm broke, you would know when I speak. If I was black, it's my face on a T, R.I.P. underneath, on my name next to free. If I was black, I would die in these streets just for speaking my mind because I had a dream.
Hey, if I was black,
you'd attack when I say I'm proud cause you're mad that you ain't allowed. If I was black, y'all ever tried to take me down, one fist in the air, I would stay my ground. If I was black, I'd take the police, I'd take the whole clan, I'd put holes in their sheets. If I was black, I put gold on my teeth. So if you think I'm